Hey everyone, so I would just like to apologize for there being a dip in videos for that entire last week. I ran into some computer problems and needed my dad to help me with them, and well, we're obviously back in working again, and I cannot thank him enough for this because this video literally would not exist without him. I would also like to mention very quickly that I'm getting a few upgrades, most notably a new monitor, which should mean better video quality, since the current one I'm running is probably nearly as old as I am and uses a VGA connection instead of a HDMI, so if that tells you anything. Yeah, so hopefully videos should look much smoother and much nicer in the coming week or so. On top of that, I know this video is meant to be about the Cinta, as you can tell by the title. I just wanted to take a quick break from doing the Drifter melees to do something a bit more different, so we're going to do Cinta. The next video will be Sampodes, however, so don't worry about that. Cinta! This is a weapon that, I shit you not, has taken me since day one to actually get my hands on, after ruthlessly farming the puzzle birds, which I'll be getting to in a second here. So, this video is a bit cathartic and rage-inducing at the same time. The Cinta is an MR6 bow that can be found on Duviri, specifically split up into 4 main parts, including the main blueprint. The blueprints you'll need to actually craft this weapon can be found all over Duviri in the form of bird puzzles you'll need to complete. Now, there's a lot to these things, so I'm not going to cover them in this video, but I will probably make a video in the future that will actually cover all the ins and outs of these puzzles, since I have done so many. Like most bows, Cinta works on a charging system where the longer you hold down the fire button and then release it, the more powerful your shot will be. However, unlike most bows, there's a perfect shot system integrated into the Cinta, something only seen by the Nataruk, which was only released during the New War. Simply tapping the button will release a weak arrow that does minimal damage and is overall nothing too exciting. It's great if you just need to kill an enemy really quickly and don't have the time to charge, but otherwise I would avoid trying to do this as much as possible. Fully charging your shot, however, will release a far more powerful arrow that can also pierce through multiple enemies at once, though I don't know if this is infinite or not, since there's not a lot of resources online that actually give any info on this. By releasing your arrow at the right time, as indicated by 2 brackets on your crosshair, you will fire off a wide projectile that can hit multiple enemies at once and also comes with innate heat damage. Regarding the stats of the weapon, the quick shot has a critical chance of 20%, critical damage multiplier of 2 times, a status chance of 30%, and a total damage of 450 with majority puncture. A fully charged shot will have a critical chance of 36%, critical damage multiplier of 3, a status chance of 32%, and a total damage of 800 with majority puncture as well. The perfect shot, on the other hand, will have a critical chance of 20%, critical damage multiplier of 2, status chance of 35%, and a total damage of 600 that's all heat. To give a better idea of where Cinta's stats lies, I'm also going to compare it to the Nataruk and the Paris Prime. Starting with the Nataruk, the quick shot has a critical chance of 20%, critical damage multiplier of 1.8 times, a status chance of 30%, and a total damage of 450 with majority puncture. The charged shot has a critical chance of 50%, critical damage multiplier of 2.2, a status chance of 50%, and a total damage of 900, which is majority puncture as well. The perfect shot, on the other hand, has a critical chance of 60%, critical damage multiplier of 2.8, a status chance of 50%, and a total damage of 900 majority puncture as well. Moving over to Paris Prime, the quick shot has a critical chance of 45%, a critical damage multiplier of 2, a status chance of 20%, and a total damage of 180 majority puncture. The charge slash has a critical chance of 45%, critical damage multiplier of 2, a status chance of 20%, and a total damage of 360 majority puncture once again. One thing to note is that Paris does have an Incarnon adapter and can be absurdly strong when built right. Sadly, I don't own one, so I can't actually showcase this. Overall, the Cinta is a great bow that, if you can obtain early on, unlike Mo, who has crap luck, it can absolutely destroy anything you come across. It does fall off at Steel Path, but for what it's worth as an MR6 weapon, this isn't too bad, and it certainly can actually be brought to those missions, but there are better choices. Also, DE, please, let us fucking use this on Duviri. This would be so cool!